Hey everybody, Red Specs Gaming here. Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Eternal. So today we're going to start digging into autocrafting with the applied energetic system, and I'll show you how cool it is and how you can use it to speed up your life and to make things a lot easier for you. So I hope you're ready for that. Sit back, relax, and let's get started. Okay, so first thing, since last episode, you notice I've opened up the walls here, and I've redone this configuration. I did this so that the controller, the only thing connected to the controller from the machines here is the front, because I want 5 of the faces of this controller available, because you can get up to 32 channels on each face. So you can put a dense cable off of each face, and then that way you've got, you know, that many channels per face. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think later on we can expand with more of these. I'll have to look into that. So if we need more space, we can make this bigger and get more, but I don't know that we're going to need more than 5 times 32. You'll notice I put a dense smart cable on the face of each, so I can come around and I can look at how many channels. That's in the top left there. You can see how many channels are in use per face, and you'll notice, like, especially for this one, which I ran this way and then that way, we put cable anchors to make sure that this isn't connected to this grouping going this way. And then one thing you'll notice is there's a different color in each area, and that way, you know, if I start to get around where I'm like, what line is this, you know, what's going on, I've color coded each line. So this would be the yellow line, this is the brown line, going up would be the blue line, going that way would be the green line, and then I think I've got red line going down. So if we build deeper into this area and add more stuff, red will be the one going down and giving it life. So for now, we're going to look at what I've got going on with the brown line and the yellow line. Okay, so to start with, we are going to get our Pulverizer online. We're going to make sure that he is auto-crafting stuff for us. How do we do that, you say? Okay, well, first things first, we're going to put, we need some interfaces like we made last time. That's not what I needed. I need this. So let's make some more interfaces. And these are Emmy interfaces. They're made with the annihilation cores and the glass and all that. So I should be able to make, what was I missing? Some more annihilation cores, right? So we need to make more annihilation cores. I'm going to make another 8 of those, and we're going to make more of these formation cores. Make another 8 of those. Toss those in here. And actually, we're going to start putting these things in our new system, in our new network, because we're going to need them probably when we start doing auto crafting. So they need to be available on the disk here. So if we take these and just toss them up in here, you can see the other stuff that I've got in this system here. In fact, anything that's with ME, let's go ahead and take it out of the system here, like these processors. Boom, give me all of those. And glass cables. We're going to get them out of our smart or our simple storage network, and we're going to put them in to our ME system here. So let's chuck these in there. And remember, with the 64K, we only have 63 items unique that we can put in here, but we can put a bunch of it in there. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about, is this taking up multiple stacks in on a disk. It's gonna go like super high, more than we'll need. You know what I mean? So we should be able to, let's see, some more of these controllers now, or interfaces, sorry. Interface. You. And he needs these, so let's get some glass and some iron in here for now. Iron's gonna stay on the shelf, but until we get it to where we need it, we can until we get that hooked up to our system, I should say, we're gonna need some of it in here. And so we just have to remember some of these things that are on the shelf that I'm putting in here on a disk drive, we have to get them out of here and put them back on the shelf before we hook that up. We don't want to mess everything up there. And some glass too, probably. How much glass do I have? I'm down to 3. See, I made a ton of cables, and I used up all my glass. So let's take the quartz glass. We'll have to make some more glass actually, and you know what? That'll be one of the first things we do here. We'll put the quartz glass in there. Okay, so from here, if we wanted to make controllers, or I'm sorry, interfaces. You notice I type here, there's nothing in here. And this doesn't change. That's because there's a button here. Let's see, where is said button? There's a button here that ties this to this, so this will change with it. That's not what I want. I want sorted craftable, stored craftable. No. What was that button? There is a button in here. Crafting status. That's what we're going to be getting into. You can do tall terminal. You can do short terminal. Search box. Here we go. Auto search keep. Standard search. Okay, so it is this button here. See how you can toggle through JEI standard, JEI synchronized standard keep, auto search keep, standard search keep. So I'm going to go with JEI synchronized auto. And then I think from here, if we do, yeah, okay. So you see how now there's nothing in here because we don't have anything stored, but we get this over here. But that's not, terminal's not what we want. We want interface, right? Yeah, okay, and then there's also a button that does that. Let's see which one it is. It's R. Okay, so that's another thing you have to look at is there's a button that will take control. So let's see what's on R that we don't need to have on R. Dragon Breath, Range Overlay, Extended Inventory Tool Belt, Edit Chisel Design, Open Modeling Tool, GUI, Throw Bit. You know, we're going to clear all of this because I don't need any of this right now until we know what we need. Really having all this stuff. Inventory sorting, that's the one. That's probably the one that's causing us to drop out of there. Toggle emergency hover mode. All this stuff that's on R, I'm just getting rid of it. And we'll reassign if we need what we need. There's show recipe. That's probably the one there too, actually. Alright, so now if we go back in here and we do enter there. Face. This is the guy here. You can click it from here, and it should show up in here if you have everything. And we are missing glass, of course. So we've got one interface. Let's start with that, shall we? We're going to take this interface. One second. We're going to take this interface, and we're going to put it over here, like so. And connect it up. We'll say here. We're going to put the interface in the wall like this, okay? And then this interface is going to get wired up. We need to get some glass cable. Probably still got some in the old system. I don't think I got nearly all of it out. I made a ton of it. That's why I'm out of glass now. Yeah, look at all this I got still. Alright, and then we're going to take this guy and we're going to hook this to that, okay? So that gives us one connection here. So we've got one connection, and that's to the interface. And if you look at the GUI in the interface, what it's doing is it's giving you the ability to put patterns in here to recognize recipes. And then whenever you order one of those recipes, this interface will export from your network what you need and put it in here. So we'll start with glass. We need to make some glass, right? Glass is a simple one. So we have here the powered furnace. And if we take the powered furnace and we put it down right here, notice it doesn't connect. And that's good. That's what we want. We don't want it to connect, right? But he's, of course, still going to need power. So we're probably going to run power underneath these is the way we'll do it. And we're going to do probably a shared import is what we'll do, because channels being a problem with this, you have to think about how many channels you have. So we'll probably do power and exporting all from underneath this. You know what I mean? So we'll go down here one more. We're going to open up a line here where our machines will be hovering over. Okay. And then what we can do is we can go... Where's my... Let me get some what do you call it? Item conduit. Got item conduit. Get that out. Get me a crate, which I already have right here. And we will put that crate in the ground. Let's just put it right here for now. And we'll cover it over when we're done. But this is just so that we can make sure everything's working. So take the crate, pop it right there. There's the crate. And what we're going to do is we're going to run into this guy from this guy, okay? So he has to be able to put stuff into this crate, and then we're going to import from the crate back into our network. So I got to think about the best way to do that. Because we really want one connection off of him into the machine. We're going to need power into the machine. So give me a second. I'll figure out the best way to set this up. I'll be right back. Okay, so one thing I just remembered is I think these cables take power too. Maybe. I'm not sure. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this interface that we had, which is where? Where are you in my... Did the bag pick it up again? Oh yeah, I got to turn this off from auto. Don't gather anything right now, dude. Alright, you take this interface, right? And you put it in your crafting queue again, and then you get a flattened version of it. And it doesn't change anything about it except that it's flattened. And now we can put the interface on the back of the machine there, right? And we can put glass cable here to connect it. And that should still count as just one connection. So if we come over here and look, one connection, one of 32 channels in use. And then right now, without this being hooked up, because I need some glass to continue to show you this, we can throw some glass in here, get that going, and that'll cook and not go anywhere for the moment, okay? But the reason we did that is because we're going to need glass so I can make the next part of this, which I will show you in a moment, as soon as this gets ready. Alright, and we're going to move this guy. We're going to put him like midway down here underneath all of these cables, okay? We're going to put this guy probably just like right here for now. And then this line down here will be the we're importing into. And so we're going to take an import guy, which we're going to make here. Hopefully we have enough glass. Alright, we got glass. So let's make an import bus. You look at import. Right here, import bus. He needs annihilation core, some ingots, and a sticky piston, which we don't have the sticky piston, and we don't have the annihilation cores in this network yet. So let's make... I'm just going to make some more to hold on us right now, because we're going to need them. Import bus. Sticky piston is next. Make a regular piston. Go back here, make a sticky piston. Go here, and now we can make an import bus. And what the import bus does is it imports, obviously. So if you put the import bus on a thing, like we're gonna put it right here, and then we hook him up to the network here with, we'll just do a glass cable, right? And so that should bring this online. And so if we put anything in here, like let's throw this annihilation core in here, now it goes back into the network, right? So like these logic processors, toss them in there, they will start going into the network. Now obviously, like anything else, we're going to need to do upgrades, these upgrade cards for them, but we'll get to that when we're done. That will make it import quicker, just like with simple network. And then this guy, who is crafting glass, he's run out of power. Okay, so no, this does not give power, but what we can do is we can do power across the top of it, right? So he's going to come out. Let's go ahead and hook him up with this first. So we're going to run one of these this way, like this. Okay. And then bam and bam. And then he's going to export always active. So anytime he gets anything, it's going to go into this guy. Okay. And then this guy, he gets imported. So he inserts. So anything that comes out of this should go into this and end up on the network. Okay. And now we just got to get our power back in place. So let me get a... Let's see. We'll probably put the power right across the tops of these maybe, or... Yeah, because I want to stack them side by side. So I want to have all kinds of stuff side by side. So maybe we do power in the middle, and then we can have a second row of machines up top. So that's probably the best way to do that. Let me just stick this here for the moment, and then we're going to get us another point. So give me a point, an access point, one of these. And we're going to put this is our power, right here, like that. And then we're going to take you out, put you back in my box, and then we're going to take this energy conduit, and we're going to run the energy conduit down either way, right? Boom and boom, and then we'll do the same thing going this way. Boom, and then that'll give power to all the machines on this row and all the power to machines above it too. And we can do the same thing above it, by the way, with you know, having an item that pulls in. So right now we're looking at 2 connections to this line. We can verify that, 2 connections, and all the machines that we put on can dump into this box and save us channels, basically. So we're going to have that there. He's got power now, and he's creating glass, and you notice it's just disappearing. And so if we look in our machine here, hey look, we've got glass and it's going up on us. So we got some quartz glass and we got some regular glass. So that's the initial part of how that works. Now the auto-crafting part, that'll be interesting. I'll show you this. So what we need to make for auto-crafting are a few things. We're going to need a 64K storage. We don't have to make it that big, but I want to make it that big, and I've already, if we look, I've already gone to the trouble of doing the storage module, the storage component. So we already have a 64K storage component here. I went through the whole process again that we did on the last episode and made another one of those. But to make that, you need a crafting unit and you need that storage, and that'll give you 64K storage. And I'll explain what this is in a second. Crafting unit, though, we need to do this thing. That's some more processors, some logic processors, some cable. Probably need to do it over in here because I think I moved everything, right? So if we do not the monitor, we need the, where's the storage? Where'd it go? He's down here now. Do this, it can't do it. Why can't it do it? Because we probably don't have the 64K on this network. So let's pull that out, put it on that network real quick. You're now in that network. There we go. And you and you. And you can't do it, you know why? Because we don't have this thing. So we got to make that first. The what do they call it? Crafting unit. So now we can do it. So we got a crafting unit, toss it back up in there, and then we can make this 64K crafting storage. Think of this as memory for your auto crafting. So what this is this gives you the ability, next gen crafting, this gives you the ability to do multiple things, to create multiple jobs at once, to do more, to put like more items to be auto crafted at once. The more memory you have, the more storage you have, obviously the more you can do at one time. So I'm just going ahead with the 64 at the start, and we'll expand later on. So that's your first thing. Your next thing is going to be, we'll go with the crafting coprocessor unit. And what this guy does is this lets us do different things at once. So let's say you were crafting a thing that had 4 components and those needed to be crafted. The coprocessing unit will let you do 2 things at one time and speed up the job. So we're going to have one of those, and we're probably going to have more of those as we go. Let's go ahead and make a couple of these crafting units because we're going to need them. I'll make like 4 of them, stick them up in here. Okay, because everything uses these are, think of the crafting unit as a filler block. You use it to craft a lot of these other things, but if you're doing a multi-block and you don't have other things to fill in, this can fill in for them. Just like, think of it as just like a blank. So it works that way. Crafting coprocessor uses an engineering processor and a unit, so we'll go with that. Bam. And one thing I do like is I can monitor these things. I think it's got them in alphabetical, that's why. But I can see I've got 77 of those left, 10 of those, and 120 of those. These are the ones that use the diamonds. That's why there's so few of them, because I didn't really want to burn through my diamonds real quick. And I'm going to toss some of this stuff in there. Alright, so coprocessing unit. We already had one. And now we got 2. Probably going to need them anyways, but I'm going to leave one up in here. I put this guy, and we're going to put this guy on top of this guy. Okay? So, starting to build our crafting computer here. And we might back it up to back here, but we'll build it here for now. And then I'll move it afterwards. So now we've got storage for doing auto crafting. We've got the memory for it. We've got the ability to do more than one thing at a time. Okay. And now we need a thing to materialize. So if you look, these are molecular assemblers. And those are made with crafting tables, quartz glass, cores, and iron. So we're going to make, on our own inventory here, make a couple of crafting tables. Which we already actually have some, so we're going to take them out and we're going to put them into this network. Alright, got that. And now we can do molecular assemblers. And I'm going to make, let's go ahead and make 4 of these if we have the cores for that. Looks like we do. We get 8 of those and 7 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got that. And I'm going to slap those just around this guy, like this. Okay. So he's now got, and what these are going to do is, let's say you wanted to create a door. You ordered a door to be made. You'll see it appear in here. This is the chamber in which it crafts it, so to speak. You'll see in a minute. It's going to be kind of neat. And then we have that. We've got that. Now what we need is a, let's say, a monitor, a crafting monitor, which you don't have to have a crafting monitor, but I like it because you can see what's being crafted with it. And so for that we need an Emmy storage monitor, and an Emmy storage monitor is an illuminated panel, and an Emmy level emitter, which is a calculation processor and a redstone. So we need redstone torches, which we'll pull them down in here. So as we're doing this, we're going to start moving things slowly into this network. And once we get the amount of storage that I want in the network, what we'll do is we will just import everything from our barrels into the network. Alright, so now we're doing the monitor. So we need the level emitter first. So we've got a level emitter. And now we can do the illuminated panel. What is the illuminated panel again? Let's go. Monitor. What are we missing for the illuminated panel? Illuminated panel is quartz glass. Alright, so we need some glowstone, some redstone. So let's just grab like 2 stacks of each of those. Again, these are things that have to come back out of the network because they're actually going to be stored on in their respective drawers. One thing that this doesn't do is it doesn't do compacting the way the compacting drawers do, where you can pull out a like a block or the powder or whatever other version, and that's invaluable. So we will be keeping our drawers for that. All right, so crafting monitor there. We need an illuminated panel. Now we have 3 of those, which if we had 3 of those, we probably had some from before. So if we look in our old network, yeah, we still had 1 left. All right, well, we'll take it out and put it in here. Everything goes in here. And now that we have that, we can go you, make one of these. There's an Emmy storage monitor. Put that in there. And then we can make a crafting monitor out of that. Boom. And now what this does, this will show us kind of an image of what is being crafted, right? And you can use your Certus Quartz wrench to rotate, which I had it. There we go. So it's right there. Cool. Okay. And then we need, after this, we're going to go for, let's say, we want this pattern terminal. And what this does is give us the ability to make patterns, to tell the computer, to teach the computer what it can do, so to speak. So, pattern terminal is made with a crafting terminal and another engineering processor. Crafting terminal is a terminal, a calculation processor, and a crafting table, which we're missing what on real quick? Hang on. ME terminal? Oh, we gotta make an ME terminal. Alright, so there's an ME terminal. And then we can go here and we can make a crafting terminal. There. And now we can make the pattern terminal. So we have a pattern terminal. Sweet. And the pattern terminal, I don't know if we can directly attach it or if we need to bring a glass off of it to detach it. We'll see here in a second. So if we take this and we slap it right there, I think it turned backwards is the problem. So yeah, we definitely need a glass cable then. So if we boop that real quick and we put a glass cable. Where's my glass cable? I can put it all away. Give me glass cable, thank you. We put a glass cable right, yeah. And then we can put the pattern terminal on him, right. Yeah. Okay. So that's good. So now we can create patterns here. I don't like the way that looks, by the way, so we'll probably move that. Actually, we might, let's do this. Let's put it over on our main computer. This is just going to be our processing thought here, but the main computer can have the pattern terminal on it. So let's put the pattern terminal on the side here, like that. And then we can just come off to the side. We need to get into the pattern terminal. So here's a pattern terminal. Now, the way the pattern terminal works is first thing you need some blank patterns to start with. So if we look at blank patterns, that is quartz glass, glowstone, certus, and iron ingots. And we have no certus in here right now, so let's get that out of the other. Again, this is another one of those things that has to come out, which is why we're not moving everything right away, because I don't want to confuse. Don't have too much stuff in here to have to remember what all goes back out. If we keep it down to like one page, we can look at this one page and say, oh, okay, so that comes out, the iron comes out. You know what I mean? Just keep it simple for at the beginning. Had you built this at the start, it'd be hard to build it at the start because you need all the materials for it. But had you built it at the start and started dumping into it from there, then you'd be all right. But for now, this works. All right, and so blank patterns. Let's go ahead and make, how much quartz glass do we have? That answers it. All right, so we'll make some quartz glass soon too. Put that in there again. Now we have 4 blank patterns, okay? You take the blank patterns, you go to your pattern terminal, and you put them here, okay? And then you say, okay, I need to make some things. But how do I make some things? So if we look at it, what you're going to say is you've got 2 settings. Or dictionary substitution and allow substitution of input. That's, let's say if something can work with iron and tin or whatever, you could put that in here, or cobblestone and stone. You could put this on and that'll turn that on. The other thing is you can do processing pattern or crafting pattern. All right, these are different. Processing pattern, I believe, is for machinery. So let me think about this for a second. Remember how to do this. I think you can wipe these, so it won't matter if we mess this up. Let's say we want to make some regular glass, okay? We know that if we put a sand in, and not 26 sand, you don't want to do that. Let's put a sand. 1 sand into a machine, specifically, we should get 1 glass out of that machine, right? So this is the output. This is the difference in a processing pattern versus a crafting pattern, which we'll do a crafting pattern too, so I can show you how that works. But we know, hey, if I put into a furnace 1 sand, I will get out 1 glass. Okay? We encode that pattern, it looks like a glass until you take it out, right? So now this creates 1 glass with 1 sand. What we can do with this now is we can come over here to our interface, and the interface is used to pull things out of the network. So if I put that in here in the patterns of this interface, then when I order glass to be made, what'll happen is the system will go, okay, where do I see a pattern in all of my network that wants that? And it'd be right here. Glass would be created right here on this guy. So then he'll start pulling sand out of the network and putting it into this guy. Then this guy will cook it like it normally does without any of this crazy networking stuff. And when he makes glass, he spits it out. It goes out the bottom into this barrel here. And then this barrel imports it back into the network. And then the network sees that, oh, hey, I have sand now. I have completed that order. And now I'm done. Okay? So let's hook this up, because I think you need this computing information. We're not going to be using these for glass, but we'll use those in a second. So if I get this and I go bam, bam, this guy is now hooked up to the network. You see he's glowing. Everything's happy. Let's check our connections. We're now using 3 channels because this one channel handles this entire computer. This is our second channel to import, and our third channel is that interface there for this guy. So let's order some sand to be made, or some glass to be made, shall we? Let's take the glass out so it's not in the network. And you see now there's a thing that says craft. So if you see that, what that's saying is, I don't have any in the network. We put some in. See, that's the difference. I don't have any of this in the network, but I know how to make it. And so if we click this and we tell it to make us 10 of these, and we say next, now you get this little thing, and it's kicking off. So we should be seeing a sand show up over here in a second, unless we missed one more step. There might be one more step to do. So if we go to crafting status, yeah, I think we missed a step. We do have sand. Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure we have sand. Let's do that again. So we do craft, give me 10 of these, do next. We didn't hit the start button. Hit start, and now you'll see that this is cooking now, right? He's pulled 10 sand in, and if you look at the status up here, you can see that it's crafting these, and as that glass gets finished and goes back into the network, it'll count this off. I now have 4 in there. I now have 5 in there. And you can see this is going to take about 21 seconds. And so when this finishes, this clears. And that's it. You now have glass in the network. And if I was to toss this glass back up in there, it would cancel that, because that job is just waiting to see that there's 10 glass in the network. And it'll sit there. So if you've messed something up, like you're not importing, if we weren't importing back to the network and the glass stayed sitting here, that job would just keep running indefinitely, because it wouldn't know how to complete, because it never saw the glass go back into the network. And so that's how you use machinery, and that's how you use encoded patterns to auto-craft. So the next thing is instead of using a machine, just something you would use. Think of these as any time that you have something that you can do in a crafting queue. These are your crafting queues, so to speak. So let's think of something that we can use here. What about these cores, the annihilation cores? If we do core here, and we look at these are fluix dust, logic processors, quartz, all that kind of stuff. Let's get some quartz and some fluix dust in here. What about the other core? And that's pure Certus crystals, or regular, but definitely fluix dust. So let's get some fluix dust real quick. We got that. We'll get that out of the network. And let's get some Certus quartz. I'm pretty sure we already have some, but just in case, let's do that. Put that up here. Bam, bam. Those are both in the network now. We have that. Okay, and now we're going to tell it not a processing pattern, but a crafting pattern. And we take that out, and you can look over here and see what those patterns are. So if we say core here, and we look again at this, we should be able to pull that in there, just like that. So you don't have to remember to type everything or put it in there. If it exists, you can pull it into this pattern terminal. And now we can say that one pure nether quartz, fluix dust, and logic processor creates annihilation cores. But I don't want to use that recipe specifically. I actually want to use the cheaper recipe, which is just Certus quartz. Excuse me. Which is just Certus quartz. So if we take this, and we go like, give me 1. We put that there. That's the recipe I want to use, because that's cheaper to do than using the pure Certus quartz, which you have to turn the pure Certus quartz into. And now if we encode this pattern, right? We have an encoded pattern that knows how to make Certus quartz, or how to make formation cores. And if we kill this, let's do the other kind of core real quick, which is the annihilation cores. And we're going to do that in there. Again, don't want that. Would rather use that. Actually, we need to use nether quartz for this, don't we? And we might have to get some nether quartz out of the old network. Nether quartz. There we go. I'll take that out because I'm going to put it in this network here in a minute. And this goes like that. I need one. This goes like that. Yeah. Alright, those are annihilation cores. Let's encode that pattern. And so now we have two patterns. One for annihilation core, one for formation core. And then what we can do is we can... I think we might need an interface over here too. Might need to make another interface. Do I have these interfaces from yesterday? Oh, no, wait, because I turned those interfaces into... what you call them, into storage buses. So we need to make a new interface. Interface. This guy. What are we missing? Anything? Nope. Okay, we got the interface. That's cool. And we're going to put the interface off of this guy here. And I'll put him in the back. I'm going to put him right here. Alright, that should be okay. And actually, this interface doesn't have to be touching these, by the way. It can be anywhere. As long as this is on your network, then the network will know. In fact, I'll show you that. I'll prove that to you. We take that interface. And let's put that interface just over here. So he doesn't actually connect to any machines or anything. He's just a connection. And we put these two patterns in this connection. So now this can make formation cores and annihilation cores, right? And then if we come over here and let me toss this quartz back up in here. We'll toss this glass up in here. That Certus. I just want all that up in there for now. So now if we want to make... I'll actually get these cores out, otherwise I can't craft. So if I want to make... let's say we make 6 annihilation cores and 6 formation cores, right? So if we do 6 of you... Alright, and we do, it tells you what you're going to need. Available, 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 so that's all good. And we do start on that, and then we do 6 of these. And we do next, and we do no crafting CPUs available. So the reason it's not available is because it's, I think, using all of these. We should be seeing those. What's the hold up? Why are we held up here? Okay, so I think I lied to you guys. I think you actually need the interface touching this computer. So the interface holds the patterns, and it'll tell this specific computer what to do. So you can have multiple interfaces attached here, multiple molecular assemblers, and memory. I think the memory doesn't even need to be attached. I think just this, and these, and the crafting unit here, or the coprocessing unit. But let's see. Let's try it again, shall we? Craft me 6 of these, please. Next, and start. And now, are we doing anything? You're thinking about it, but you don't. Why? No. Maybe it has to be touching these. Alright, let's try this real quick. Let's cancel that. Alright, and let's try this. Let's take this out. We're going to take him out. We're going to rearrange this just a little bit. And what we'll do is we'll put... let's put this guy here in front, like this. And that breaks the machine. That's because that's a crafting unit. That's not my interface. My bad. We'll put the interface here in the front. And let's move these. I want to have all of these touching this guy. That may be the difference, is they need to be touching. So if we do like this, right? Like that, and then we put our patterns in here. And there's other ways to adjust it. And you'll know if it's not working because you'll see the lights go off immediately. Alright, let's try this again. So if we do 6 of these now, please. And start. And now it's doing it. See? It just ran through them real quick, because those are really fast to make. But anything that takes multiple steps... There we go. Now we have 6 of those in there. And now we can do 6 of these, for example. Boom. Give me 6 of these. It's so quick that it's hard to see it. But if we go next... There we go. Oh, wait. We didn't do start. We'll look over here. 6 of these. Next. And start. See, they form inside the chamber, and then they're out. So that's cool. That's really cool. Let me rearrange this a little bit, and I'll be back in a moment, because I'd like to make it look a little nicer. So hang tight. So we already have a pattern over here. Look over here. This guy. We already did this, remember? This is the pattern for making glass. Well, now we need a pattern for crushing quartz. We need to tell the system how to get us crushed quartz. So we go to our pattern terminal. Remember, this is going to be a processing pattern because it's going to be a machine that needs to do it. So if we go crushed quartz, we'll just use this one because this seems to be the one we get the most of. Let me actually look it up on the regular network real quick because we kind of have to tell it how to do this. So if we do crushed quartz, this guy, what is the pattern on that? I think it's just a quartz in the machine and you get a crushed quartz out. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a regular quartz out. Give me one of these. And we're going to go to the machine and we're going to say this is a processing pattern. Take one of those. Give me one of these, I think. Let's do this by hand real quick and we'll see. So if we go one of these in here, let's see what it gives us. It gives us 1 crushed quartz. Okay, so that'll end up back in the system because I've hooked this. This is our Pulverizer. I've hooked him up to the system. Same thing here. He's got an Emmy interface on his back, and he exports to this guy, which then imports into our network. And we have 1. So it's a 1-for-1 recipe. Good to know. We take 1 for 1. We go over to the processing pattern, and we go, okay, 1 of these in gives us 1 of these out. And we encode that. And now we have that pattern. And then we also need to know how to make crushed quartz itself. So this goes back to a crafting pattern because you do this on the grid. Crushed quartz. Quartz glass. Ah, dang it. Why are you being this way? Q. U. A. R. T. Z. I don't know why it was jumping on me like that. Here's the pattern. Pull the pattern in, and I'm going to clear these because, again, I always want to use the quartz, the nether quartz stuff for this. Bam, 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 and bam. That's the pattern that we want right there. So we encode that. Remember, this is a crafting pattern because it goes on the grid, not in a machine. Okay. And what we do is we come over here and we tell this machine, hey, you know how now to make quartz glass. And we come over here to the crusher. And we say the crusher knows how to make crushed quartz. Or, sorry, not the crusher, the pulverizer. Same difference. And now we should be able to order quartz glass and it go through the steps all together. Because the computer will know. So here's quartz glass. There's none in there. There's no crushed quartz in there. There's no glass in there, right? So let's order 10 quartz glass. If we say next, it's going to take the sand. It's going to turn that into glass. It's going to take the nether quartz. It's going to turn that into crushed quartz. And then it's going to mix those together to make that. So if we say start, see this is kicked off. It's cooking that into glass. And then you'll see here in a second on the monitor, it should pop up what it's doing once it gets it. We'll wait and see. What step are we on? I wonder if that's in the right place. That may not actually be active right there. So the monitor doesn't really matter. What step are we doing? We're currently cooking glass. Okay, so it's going to cook the glass first. And then it's going to crush the quartz. And then it's going to mix them together. That's a 2-minute job to do 10 quartz glass. We can, of course, update these machines and make them faster. Like, there might be a better powered furnace that we can use for this. And in that case, all we have to do is remove this and put the new one in. The interface and all that should stay the same. You know what I mean? It just has to know what to put it in there. Alright, so now it's crushing quartz. Or did it already crush quartz? Did it already complete? It might have already completed, actually. Where are we at? Nope, we should be crushing quartz now. Anytime now. If I did this right. And it may be that this machine isn't accepting. So we need to tell this machine to accept. So if we go into the machine, we do configuration, the back of the machine should be, what is that? In? Yeah, okay. And then the bottom of the machine, that's the top of the machine. The top of the machine is energy. I don't think we need to worry about that. This is the back of the machine. Yeah, see, now that's the problem. The machine wasn't accepting. And now the bottom of the machine needs to be out. In, out. So he's crushing quartz now. And he should be getting crushed quartz in here in a second. Unless it's not putting it out. No, it's definitely putting it out. Yeah. Okay. It's going in here. It's being imported into the system. Maybe it's using it as soon as it gets it. I'm not sure. We'll wait and see when it's done here. Bam. Definitely getting this, and it's definitely going back out. So when that finishes, this guy here might kick off. We'll wait and see when he's done. We'll keep an eye on it real quick here. Oh, there it is. It's happening. You can see it's actually making our quartz glass down here now. So you got to make sure all the parts are right, that you've got an interface to export into your machine. You got a way to get it back out of the machine and into your network. The machine has to be able to accept items. And yeah, and as you can see, then we're getting quartz glass now. It's crushing that, and then it crafts that, and then we have it. And so now we have quartz glass. So you can order the stuff up and you can move on with your life. And then when you come back, boom, done. And multiple steps. So you start small, how to make the simple things, and then you get more complex as you go. So the next thing that I'm going to do, probably off camera so you guys can see, is I'm going to run a line this way, up underneath this machine, and I'm going to put an interface here on the bottom of this, so that this can get all the things it needs to make these processors, and then it's going to re-import here, and so we'll have processors handled. And that's how this is going to be set up. And so yeah, we start building more and more, and eventually our network will be able to do everything we need it to do easy. We just order a complex machine and it puts it all together for us. Alright, so that was a really long video. Sorry about that. I just couldn't find a way to break up that content. That said, we're going to end here. And next week next episode we'll start on doing hooking up our inscribers for Autocrafting. And then that way we are ready to start printing all the things that we need to basically automate creating huge storage drives. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, if you're still with me. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. And if you want to see more like this, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you guys later, and have a great day. Bye.